In the tech industry today, PMs are responsible for setting the product vision and the roadmap to deliver it. In other words, they are in charge of the product strategy. Now, product strategy questions in a PM interview, they assess your ability to understand competitive landscapes and reason about high-level product direction decisions. In general, product strategy PM questions test your knowledge and comfortability with competitive analysis, market analysis, product roadmaps, and business strategy. For folks who have an idea of the approach to solve product strategy questions, feel free to jump straight to the mock interview. The links are there in the description. With that, let's get started. A good product manager must mix a strategic awareness of his or her company and its overall position in the market together with a strategy of how their own product will compete. They then have to switch gears and make the strategy happen in practice. That is the part of the challenge of being a product manager. It is usually up to the PM to develop this strategy because they know the most about the opportunities and the threats that are present from the perspective of their particular market. In your interviews, you will therefore be given strategic questions to discuss with your interviewer. There are three main types of product strategy questions that you will face in your interview. Very interestingly, these also align with questions business executives tend to face as they progress through their career ladder. The first one is focused on defining the company's strategy. These include questions like, imagine that you are the CEO of Netflix. What is your strategy for the next 10 years? Or how would you revolutionize the car wash industry? Or how would you solve the homelessness in downtown San Francisco? The second question category focuses on entering or expanding a particular market. These include questions like, what is an area where Microsoft is underinvested? Or what new vertical should Amazon get into? Or how can Tesla sell more cars? Lastly, the third category of PM strategy questions, it focuses on building a business on top of a new technology. These include questions like, let's say the internet speed was 100 times faster, what are some of the businesses you can start with this technology? Or let's say you have a technology that allows people to time travel, how would you monetize this? Etc. etc. Now that we have seen what are the various types of questions one can encounter in a product strategy interview, let us go ahead and see how can one learn the art of answering them. In general, we recommend following a 4-step approach to answer these questions. So let's step through each of these 4 steps one by one. Step 1 is to set a business objective. You should start by making sure you understand the question properly and by defining a specific strategic objective with your interviewer. Strategic questions, like every other PM question, are often ambiguous in nature. That is why they are hard. The first step to a coherent answer is to listen and confirm you have understood the question correctly. If you don't understand part of the question or if anything is unclear, you should mention it up front. Your interviewer will be happy to clarify at the beginning of the conversation. But if they realize you have started answering the question without fully understanding the problem statement, this will definitely play against you. A great way to define the business objective is to focus the discussion with your interviewer on tangible metrics like number of monthly active users or revenue per active user, etc. Metrics are really helpful because they remove any ambiguity about what you are trying to achieve. It's not always possible to use them though, but you should definitely discuss them whenever you can. Step 2 is to create a structure and generate solutions within that structure. Many candidates, they skip past creating a structure, which is a big mistake. When brainstorming, it's easy to get distracted by fun ideas that don't actually support your business goal. Establishing a structure helps to keep the brainstorming directed on achieving your defined objective in step 1. Now at this point, your interviewer will likely interrupt you to discuss your proposed solutions. Whether they do this or not, you should always discuss your solutions by 1. Highlighting trade-offs and 2. Prioritizing as necessary. The reasoning and the prioritization you will provide will be debatable, as it will be based on assumptions and judgment. But your interviewer is mainly interested in how you think, so as long as you justify your prioritization with sound logic, they will think you are doing a good job. Step 4 is conclusion. Finally, you should conclude the discussion by making a recommendation and answering the initial question you were asked. In your conclusion, be sure to 1. Make a recommendation, and 2. Highlight the risks and the next steps to take. It's also a good time to discuss potential trade-offs of the aforementioned solutions as well. Now that you know how to approach product strategy questions, let's look at a full example in a mock interview setting.
Hey, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
The question that I have for you today is, you are the PM for a B2C product that has an advertisement-based monetization model with significant and steady daily revenues. One day there are no ads served and the revenues plummet to zero. What would be your strategy as a product manager to deal with this crisis?
Alright, so to ensure everybody is on the same page, let me understand the problem clearly. So I'm the product manager of a B2C product that engages with the customers. It has partnerships with various organizations or businesses for serving ads to the customers, based on which it earns revenue. The situation today is that one particular day, no ads are served on the platform and thus revenue plummets to zero. Is my understanding correct?
Yes, that is what has happened.
Alright, just give me a few minutes to jot down my thought process here. So I'll start with informing all the important stakeholders regarding the issue and let them know that we are looking at identifying the root cause on priority basis, and I will also keep them updated about the status on an hourly basis here. At the same time, I would like to make sure that the business development team is informed so that they can inform the corresponding business partners who get back with their own queries.
Sure, sounds good.
Alright, now moving on to identifying the root cause of the problem, let me give you the approach I'll take. So before getting started, I want to go through a few clarification questions around the product and the issue at hand. Once we have a common understanding of the problem at hand, I'll list down some potential reasons for the revenue plummet and identify the root cause. Post this, I'll state a few solutions and then prioritize a solution based on our discussion and make a recommendation. Sounds okay?
Go ahead.
Alright, so first things first, we should recheck with the analytics team if there is any change in reporting of the ads served and the revenue due to which the numbers came as zero for that particular day. So is it a data issue?
Yes, the tool is fine, the database hasn't been corrupted. There is something else bigger that's likely going on.
Alright, moving on to some clarification questions here. So is it a mobile-based or a web-based product?
This is both web and mobile environment.
Are we catering to a particular geography via this B2C product?
You can consider that accessibility of this product is not constrained to any particular geographic region.
Are we experiencing the decline over a period of time, or is it just a drop abruptly?
It's been an abrupt drop to zero just yesterday.
Alright, next let's move on to the root cause analysis. So firstly, to handle this crisis, I look at the reason behind this situation from both internal as well as external factors, and then I would go for solutions to deal with this particular crisis. So let's start with the external factors. So one of the possible external factors could be a new product or feature launched by a competitor that would have caused this issue. This product might be, let's say, 10 times better than the current product, and it also has no ads in that particular case.
Not that we know of.
Alright, so the second reason could be, was there any external large-scale event that could have triggered this, or the advertisement industry in general, for example?
Not that we know of.
Alright, any changes in government policies or ban related to products showing or displaying ads?
No, there has not been any policy change that we know of.
Lastly, something very small, but still we need to identify this. Has there been any negative PR about a product or a platform?
Again, nothing like this has happened or the leadership would have known.
Alright, so moving on to some of the internal factors that might have caused this, both from the advertiser side as well as the client side. So there could be many reasons here. The first is a sudden change in demand of the clients as they've wanted to move towards an ad-free business model. The second is where advertisers might have gotten bankrupt and out of business, hence no ads were served from their side. The third is the ad campaign itself has ended and there is no reactivation done by the advertisers. Fourth, clients are unable to see an ad on our platform. And fifth, advertisers themselves are unable to display or post ads on the platform because of some recent change in the algorithm or privacy, or even the ads might not get updated in the backend database and thus people are unable to click on these new ads. Next, of course, we have to look at some probable solutions for these causes. So for the first one, we need to address this issue with the clients, so as to why they want to make this particular decision, what made them come to this conclusion, and if they are making this decision, are they certainly sure about it. Of course, I am a PM in this particular case and I work closely with the customer success team and with the sales and marketing teams as well. So this particular change in demand, I must have known it, I would have known it, so I don't think this would be the problem with the particular issue that we have at hand. For the second one, advertisers getting bankrupt is something again that doesn't happen overnight. And as a PM, I would be aware of the advertisers on our platform and about their financial health. However, in case this does happen, we need to identify possible replacements. We'll search and do market research for new advertisers who fit the bill and the requirements from our side. Post this, we have to do A/B test. So basically we have to A/B test out the platform with different set of advertisers and types of ads and go with the one that is more favorable from a business point of view. At the same time, we also need to look at the feedback we get from the end users, the end customers, as that's a very important metric. For the third one, if the ad campaign itself has ended, then we'll have three different options. Either we reactivate the ad campaign with the current advertiser, second, we go for a new ad campaign again from the same advertisers, and third, we search for a completely new advertiser. Now in this case, we'll evaluate the business impact that going to a new advertiser versus reactivation of the ad campaign will have, and then we'll choose the one that is more favorable from the business point of view. For the next one, now if clients are unable to see ads that are posted on the platform, now this might be possible because of the recent UI change, maybe because some ads were not very prominent and hence were not discovered on the main home screen page. Now UI changes like these, they are always tested and released incrementally. So we should work with the engineering team to figure this out and position it in a way that satisfies the customers as well as fits the new UI changes. At the same time, we also need to work with the marketing team to broadcast these UI changes and ad positioning and everything so that people are more aware of everything that's going on. Now lastly, moving on to system related changes, advertisers, if they are unable to post or display ads on the platform, now again this might be because of a new update with a new algorithm in place which leads to ads not getting updated into a backend database, because of which advertisers were unable to post ads, and since there were no ads, the consumers were unable to see anything. Now again, this is something that can happen overnight. A new update can for sure cause an issue like this. So as a PM, I would try going deeper into the issue. Firstly, I would work on rolling back this particular feature to a previous update version. Then I would work with the developers to go through the bugs that were reported and fix it. At the same time, I need to work with the QA and the testing team and get them back to work so that advertisers can publish ads on the platform. Now, of course, once it's confirmed that this issue was due to the last particular release, I would discuss with the respective product owner and the key stakeholders regarding whether this was expected, or if not, would work with the team for rollback of the feature, of course. In parallel, I would also work with the communications team so that we can send a sorry mail to all of our partners whose revenues also got impacted due to this outage. Also, I need to inform everybody of the timelines of the fix. Once the rollback is done, I would ensure that production sanity is done on whether the ads are working properly or not. And of course, for the long run, I will set up a discussion with key folks in the engineering team to understand and formalize on a plan so that major existing functionalities are not impacted.
Thanks. That sounds like a sound reasoning and approach.
Thank you.
Take care and have a good day. Bye.
Bye-bye. Alright, so that was one possible answer to a product strategy question. Feel free to put in your ideas, comments, responses in the comment section down below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and I'll see you in the next one.